Hey, happy Sunday. I feel like I am so close to you because I literally am. I am in a lunchbox. I'm driving the lunchbox today. I love this little car. So I'm in this Geo Metro. It's a 92 Metro, the Glenda the Good Witch, fully restored. I mean, inside and out. This car is nice. And it's a stick. It is a stick shift. I drove stick shifts exclusively for 19 years, up until the end of 2011. But I haven't driven a stick shift since then. So it's been 13 years since I drove a stick. So I was a little rusty, but I'm doing better. It's a 5-speed, if you could believe it. I thought it was a 4-speed. It's actually not. Little 3-cylinder engine. This car is so tiny. I can about touch the back window from here. So, I'm headed to the grocery store. I'm headed to Aldi, and I have a return. I almost never return anything to Aldi, but I have a return today. Go on, Billy Badass. I'll get there eventually. Good thing is, when people get behind you, they don't have any preconceived notions. They look at this little car and they know damn well it's not going to go very fast. So they just go ahead and get out from behind you. Nobody really tailgates me in this car. They just go on. It's like getting behind a city bus. You know damn well you need to just go ahead and pass. Do you see how low to the ground I am? Did you see how high up that minivan looked? You are low to the ground in this thing. He didn't lower it. That's just the way they were made. They're like low. You kind of have to squat down to get in it. And there's not much clearance right here. You will knock your head into that thing. And I was saying something, I already forgot what it was. My older son, he's about 6'2". He went to get in this car and he had to bend way down to get in this car. Like, there's no clearance for his head. He said if I was driving this thing and I hit a bump, my head would hit up here. I said yes, it absolutely would. Sorry. What was I saying? Shit, I don't know. And I don't have a time machine. I can't go back and listen to myself. I don't know, it'll occur to me. But yeah, I am driving this right now because right now we're down to one car that we can drive. My car, my normal car, which my son is driving it because he cannot drive a stick. I tried to teach him how to drive one. He didn't, I don't know, it didn't go well. My brother taught me how to drive one. Now that was terrifying. I was 16 years old, and my brother was in the Navy, and he left home. He joined the Navy when he was 17, right after he graduated high school. Within 2 weeks of graduation, he was gone. And anyway, that was when I was 13. So he'd been in the Navy for a little bit, and he bought this Nissan Pulsar, little sports car. They only made them for a few years, I believe. It had the T-tops and everything. That thing was the shit. So, but it was a stick. And I had my license, and I had a little Fiero, which was a piece of shit, but I bought it because I thought it looked cool. Don't buy a car because you think it looks cool. You'll probably regret it. Just buy something dependable. Anyway, he came to stay with us. He had some leave or something, and he came and stayed with us for like a week. And he had that car with him, and I just thought it was the coolest car I had ever seen in my life. And he said, "Do you want to drive it?" I said, "I don't know how to drive a stick. I've never driven a stick." He said, "Come on, I'll teach you." So we went out several times, and he was really patient. He was really good. I choked it down about 1,000 times, and I felt really bad too because this was a brand new car. Had the new car smell. I said, I cannot learn how to drive a stick in your car. He said, "Oh, come on, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can do it." And he taught me how, and I learned fairly quickly, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I haven't choked this one down yet. I haven't choked it down a single time. The clutch lets out really weird though, and it lets out right at the top, and it's taking some getting used to. Like when I take off from a stop, yeah, I always wind it up a little bit too much because I don't know. This clutch is just crazy. On my return, I was going to tell you about my return to Aldi. I'll show you that when I get stopped up here. I think that's what I was going to tell you about. Anyway, he taught me how to drive a stick, and he even let me drive it to school one day. You know, I was driving myself to school. I was in high school, And he let me drive it to school one day, and I felt like the stuff that day driving that thing to school. Oh, hell yeah. Man, I thought I was something. So, yeah, he had that Pulsar for quite a while. He had it for a long time, and then my mom bought it from him because then he was in the cult, and the cult didn't want him to have that car. He said, look, you know, brother, you can't even really fit anybody in that car. It had 2 seats up front and a tiny little seat in the back. You couldn't really get anybody back there. The back seat was like, it was a back seat in theory, but it was tiny. So anyway, he was in the cult. You know, I wrote about, you know, the church. Well, my brother was a part of the church too. He was in the church, and they said, you know, he was one of the single brothers that they basically controlled their lives, the church did. And the church said, you know, brother, you really need to get a more practical vehicle. So they said, you need to get a minivan or something, you know, where you can carry more of the brothers around. Because a lot of the brothers don't have a vehicle, and they need someone to, you know, give them a ride. It'd be really good if you had something that would hold more people. So my brother sold the Pulsar to my mom and bought a minivan. Ugliest damn thing I ever saw. I'm like, why'd you buy that? It was like a Ford Aerostar minivan. This is back in the early 90s. So he bought this little Aerostar minivan, and he sold the Pulsar to my mom. And my mom, look at that. Look at that. Ha! Got my Geo key on my Geo fob. I feel so special. So anyway, he had this little minivan. He sold the Pulsar to my mom, and she drove it for several years. And then she was in a wreck one night. There was an ice storm, and she was headed home from work, and there was a tree that had fallen across the road, and she hit the tree and like went airborne. She said it was the craziest thing. It was just bizarre. It was like one of these surreal moments. It just does not feel real. And she went up in the air and came down. It messed up the whole front end of the car. She was able to get that fixed and continue driving it. But then it started to have electrical issues. She said it was really funny because she spent a lot of money getting the electrical issues fixed, but she decided she wanted something else. Like, I don't trust this car to continue running. And she said the funny part was I sold it to this lady. And, you know, I told her about all the stuff that had been fixed. She was fine with that. The funny thing was, I thought it would continue to have problems. I continued to see her driving around for about 5 years in that car. And I talked to her, and according to her, it never had another problem. And she had it for at least another 5 years. She said, I could have kept it. She had no more issues after that. Anyway, isn't that the way it goes, though? So, my brother taught me how to drive a stick, and I am forever in his debt because I drove stick shifts exclusively from 1992 up to, 2000, right at the very end of 2011, because it was in December when I had a wreck in the stick shift that I had, and it was totaled, and then after that I got an automatic. So I was kind of burnt out on sticks, but it's fun. I forgot how much fun it was to drive a stick shift. This little car is so fabulous. I'll show you around the interior here in just a second, because he redid the interior as well. Now, you do have to keep in mind that there's only so much you can do with a car like this. In a lot of ways, you kind of have to work with what's available. Plus, he wanted to do this as cheaply as possible. I forget what he said the total was that he spent on this car. It was like nothing. He spent, money-wise, he spent very little on it. The paint for this car, so he would paint. He's like a professional, painter. It's not like a Mako paint job. I mean, you will get, the paint job on this car is better than anything better than whatever this thing had new. Better than what a lot of cars you see driving around have. But the guy that he bought his paint from, he told him about this project and asked if he was willing to donate some paint for this car. And he said, I would love to, because it won't even take that much. The car is like this big. Absolutely, I'd be happy to donate some paint. So the paint was donated, and he did all the labor of, getting it ready to be painted, and then painting it and doing the clear coat. He did all that because he had a paint booth in his shop, so he could do all that. And his damn, his paint work, his paint jobs, they're like a work of art. I mean, he is so good at what he does. He doesn't do it anymore. He's actually doing something different now because he has a lot of trouble with his knees and his back, and it's physical. I mean, it's hard work restoring cars, and he just got to where he couldn't, like, physically, it was just too much. So he's, you know, closed his business, and he got another job, which I think he's happy with, but it's a very stressful job. It pays really well, but it's a lot of stress. But anyway, so some parts of the car may not look as beautiful as you think they should, but again, this is a 1992. This is a technically, what is this? Is this a classic car? I'm pretty sure it is by now. So there's only so much with some parts of it that you can do, but I really love what they've done. But here's my return. So they have these shirts in Aldi, and I'm in Aldi right now. I thought I was getting this striped shirt and this black shirt with the V-neck, so that's what I wanted. It's two of this shirt. There are two shirts in here. I don't want to walk around looking like the Hamburglar twice. I don't need two Hamburglar shirts. I really just wanted the black one. But the striped one's fine too. I don't want two striped shirts, damn it. So anyway, I'm going to take these back. I've got my receipt. It's supposed to be these two shirts. Not two Hamburglar shirts. Pissant. So anyway, I'm going to take that back. Now, some of the parts of this car for the interior came from a Suzuki Swift. Because if you look at the 1992 Suzuki Swift, it is almost identical to this Geo Metro. They're basically the same car, just under a different badge, just a different name. I've got my purse in here. This is a tiny, tiny car. Okay, it's little. All right, hold on. Okay, so this is the door. These seats here came from a Suzuki Swift. The one I'm sitting in looks just like this one. There is a back seat, but you'll see how much room there is for your feet. Right there. That's how much leg room you're going to have unless... Well, this seat is actually slid way back because my older son he went with me last night to Domino's to get pizza, and he had to slide the seat all the way back to get his legs up in there because, yeah, we have rubber floor mats. We have a sweet Kenwood stereo system in here and new speakers. The sound is amazing. This thing actually has a kick-ass stereo system in it, and there are speakers in the back for this stereo. So, of course, that wasn't here. We do have air conditioning in this car and heat, which is, you know, it's okay. We have some input stuff here. That is new. Obviously, this USB, this stuff was not here. We have an aux there and USB. Look at the speedometer, man. We can get all the way up to 90 miles an hour. I tell you, if I ever got up to 90 miles an hour in this car, it would probably shake itself to death. I would just die. So that's where I have my phone. What else? You have your little locks. We have manual. You literally roll the window down. There are no power windows, no power steering. There's no power anything in this car. You adjust your mirrors here. Yeah, the inside panel of this is a little wobbly, but that's about the best you're going to be able to find for a car this old. I love the little tiny pocket over here. There's a spider web in it. I love this little pocket. It's so cute. And you lock the doors thusly, like that. Now, the window, I have discovered, does not roll down very well on this side, so I don't roll this window down. It's kind of funny because if I get to somewhere where I need to roll the window down, I have to just open the door and, you know, like if I go get food somewhere and I pull up to the curb, I can't just roll my window down and take the food. I have to just open the door and step out. Yes. What else? Okay, so there's the very back. So when you open the back hatch, that little part right here raises up. It's just cool as shit. Let me show you. So here is the Metro at Aldi. Look how shiny it is. Look at this paint job. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. But you can see how low it is compared to other cars. Like it's little bitty. Got our little wheels. The gas tank is way back here. All right. So Got our key. I love this. I don't know why. Whoop. And this thing goes way up. Check it out. So I have a little compartment back here. I have some candy. I bought some candy to take to work to put in the candy dish at work. But he put in new speakers back here for the Kenwood sound system thing. But yeah, it has a nice bit of little storage back here. And then you have the back seat right there. But yeah, it is a tiny little car. So I love this car. Okay, now Glenda the Good Witch has decided he wants to sell it because right now he has his truck. Somebody was asking me what kind of truck it was. It's a Ford F-150. It's just one of the newer ones that does self-driving. Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's not a Lightning. It's just one of the hybrid trucks. And he seems pretty happy with it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So he has that, and he has a Subaru, like a newer Forester, and one of his kids that stays with him has a car. So he's got those 3 cars, and in this garage he has this car, his zero-turn mower thing that he uses up at his parents' place in the mountains, and he has the Galaxy. He has a Galaxy that he was restoring. So all that is in his garage, and he really wants more room in his garage to park, at least one of, the other cars, so his driveway doesn't look like a used car lot. So he said, I think I'm going to sell the Metro. I think I'm going to let it go. I said, what? Oh, and as soon as I composed myself, I said, let me buy it. Please let me buy it. I want to buy it. He said, you really? I said, yes, I want to. Are you kidding? I love that little car. Holy crap. Don't sell it to anybody, please. Let me buy it. I will pay whatever you would charge somebody else. Please. So he said, okay. You can, that's fine. So yay. I love this car so much. But now I have to go into Aldi and get some groceries. I'm going to do an Aldi haul today, and I'm actually going to get my picture taken later. I'm going to get some headshots done, so I have to go home and make myself presentable. I don't have on a stitch of makeup or anything, and I got to figure out what I'm going to wear. I'm just going to wear something very simple and basic, because it's for work. Because the picture they have for me at work that pops up whenever I contact anyone, it's just not a good picture. The lighting is bad, and I don't know what was going on with my hair, and it's not a good picture, and I'm so sick of looking at it. So I'm going to see if maybe I can get a better picture for them to use than the one that they currently have, because it looks like shit. So anyway, I'm going to go in and see if I can return my Hamburglar shirts, and see if I can get these. I want the black one. I don't need 2 Hamburglar shirts. Nobody needs 2 of these things. Looking like a damn convict. Anyway, got my Aldi quarter. I need my money. I didn't bring my box bags. I actually forgot those. I just realized that. I left them in my other car. Crap. That's okay. Yeah, happy Sunday to you. Oh, and about the angel tree thing, several people asked about this. Can't they get in touch with the person who took the other kid? That is not going to happen. I will tell you now that every year there are kids left over on the tree that nobody picks. They are not going to go to anybody who is willing to take one of these angels to get presents. They're not going to go to any of these people and put any conditions on them. They're not. And I don't have any way to contact them. Look, it's not an option. Nobody's going to contact the other person. I am not allowed to know what that person bought for the other kid. I'm not allowed to know any of that. They are not going to tell me. I don't have any way to know. Which is why I said it was kind of a quandary, because I wasn't sure what to do. But what I've done, I would tell you what I've done. I went on Amazon last night because I thought, I bet I can get a gift card on there. Let me just go on there. Because if I buy it on there with my Amazon credit card, I get points, and I just pay off that credit card every month. Let me just go on there and take a look at the gift cards they have. So I decided to go ahead and just get a $100 Visa gift card. So that's what I got. And it was actually delivered this morning. They dropped it off this morning. I already have it. So I just got a $100 Visa gift card. I'm going to put it in just a card for whoever's picking up the presents. Just explain the situation and say, take this. If you feel you need to, take it for the 5th child that I did not shop for. Take it and get them something, or whatever if you feel like they're good, they don't need anything, take this $100, use it for whatever you need. So that's what I'm gonna do. I've decided. But no, it is not an option to speak to this person, and that's not gonna happen. That is not an option at all. So and yeah, like I say, they have a hard time getting all of the angels selected off the tree. They're never all gone. There are always some left every year. And that might be why they started a little bit early this year. Maybe they could get a few more adopted. They are not going to go to anybody that is willing to buy presents for any of these kids and put conditions on them. They're not going to go back and cause any problems for them. And I get it. That's okay. So that's how I'm going to deal with it. $100 gift card. So hopefully that will work out any issues. I hope. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, happy Sunday to you. I need to go on in there and get some groceries. I was here yesterday, but I forgot some stuff. And I meant to return these shirts, so I can do that too. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.